Who would be the best swimming teacher in Chainsaw Man? Not who can swim the fastest, not who can survive the longest, but who would actually take a normal, terrified human being and turn them into someone who can swim without dying. Our candidates are Reze, Asa Mitaka, Makima, Power, and finally Kobeni. 5 wildly different personalities, 5 wildly different teaching styles, 5 wildly different levels of danger. Let's start with the one person who already has canon experience teaching someone how to swim, and that is Reze. When you think about Reze as a swimming instructor, the first thing that stands out is that she doesn't feel very threatening at all, at least not on the surface. She's calm, soft-spoken, athletic, and unusually patient for someone who is, a literal weapon of mass destruction. Reze understands bodies, she understands movement, she understands timing, and most importantly, she understands how to make someone feel safe while doing something extremely scary. That alone puts her ahead of almost everyone on this list. Reze would be the kind of teacher who gets into the water first. As seen in the movie, she wouldn't shout instructions from the pool deck. She wouldn't throw you in and see what happens. She would stay close, keep one hand under your back, and guide you through the basics slowly. Floating would come first, breathing would come second, kicking would come later. Everything would be broken down into manageable pieces. Like I said in the movie, Reze said that she would teach you everything. I would have to believe Reze on that. The key thing is that Reze wouldn't rush you. She knows fear, she knows hesitation, she knows what it's like to be trapped in something bigger than you. That empathy matters. When someone panics in the water, they don't need motivation, they need reassurance, and Reze could give you that indistinctly. She'll tell you to relax your shoulders, she'll remind you that water holds you up if you let it. She'll correct your form gently instead of barking commands, and when you mess up, she wouldn't shame you for it. She'll just smile and tell you to try again. But also, there might be a darker edge to her teaching. Reze would absolutely make you learn through pressure. She would probably strip down like in the movie too, and she would try to get you to be horny. She would swim out of reach and make you follow. She'd create situations where you have to trust yourself instead of relying on her. And here's the thing, it would work, because Reze knows exactly how far she can push without breaking you. That makes her terrifying in combat and incredible in teaching. If Reze is your swimming instructor, you're almost guaranteed to learn how to swim. You might even enjoy it. You might even associate swimming with something warm and nostalgic, which is honestly wild considering everything else about her. Now let's move on to the next person, and that would be Asa Mitaka, who's basically the opposite. Asa as a swimming teacher is awkward, painfully awkward. From the moment she steps onto the pool deck, you can already tell this is going to be weird. She has the knowledge, she's read about swimming, she understands buoyancy, she understands muscle movement, she understands breathing mechanics. What she doesn't understand is people. Asa would start the lesson by over-explaining everything. She would talk about the physics of water displacement. She would talk about how the human body interacts with fluid resistance. She would talk about proper posture and alignment and oxygen intake. And she would absolutely keep talking, even as you're reading the water, slowly panicking, trying to remember which part you were supposed to focus on. She's not a bad teacher. She's just a very anxious person. Asa would correct you constantly, not because she's mean, but because she's insecure. Every mistake you make feels like you're a failure, so she tries to fix everything all at once. Your arms are wrong, your legs are wrong, your breathing is wrong, your posture is wrong, everything is wrong, and she's saying it out loud. And somehow, she's also apologizing the entire time. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I mean, you're doing fine, it's just technically speaking. If you're someone who learns well from detailed explanations, instructional feedback, also might actually be really good for you. She'd design drills, she'd create practice routines, she'd probably bring notes. But if you're someone who panics easily, Asa might accidentally make things worse, because Asa panics too. The moment you start sinking or flailing, she freezes, not because she doesn't care, but because she cares too much. She hesitates for half a second too long, and in water, half a second matters. Unless you rotates over, if your oar isn't barred, Asa becomes significantly more effective and significantly more dangerous. Your would have zero patience. She would drag you through the water, force your body to move correctly, and tell you that fear is irrelevant. She would learn through shared survival instinct. She would kick you into the deep end and watch you swim. You would hate every second of it. Us as a swimming teacher is high risk, high reward. You might come out as a confident swimmer, you might come out traumatized or both. Now let's talk about Makima. Makima is without question the most efficient swimming instructor on this list. She would also be the most horrifying. Makima doesn't teach, she conditions. But the moment you meet her at the pool, she's already in control. She knows your fears, she knows your weakness, she knows exactly how much pressure you can handle before you break, and she will use all of it without hesitation. Makima would tell you to get into the water, not ask. She would simply expect obedience, and somehow terrifyingly you would obey. If you panic, Makima wouldn't react emotionally. She would absorb, she would adjust, she would remove the safety net just enough to force adaptation. She would let you struggle. She knows you can survive it. And here's the worst part. It would work. You would learn how to swim faster under Makima than almost anyone else. Your body would adapt because it has no choice. Fear would be overridden by compulsion. You'd stop thinking and start moving correctly because she expects you to do. But the cost is psychological. Makima doesn't care if you enjoy swimming. She doesn't make you feel safe. She cares about results. If you leave a lesson knowing how to swim, then the lesson was successful. Your feelings are irrelevant. Makima as a swimming teacher is like a boot camp. Effective, brutal, unforgettable. Moving on to Power. Power as a swimming instructor is a disaster from the start. She claims she's the greatest swimmer who has ever lived. She claims she taught sharks how to swim. She claims water obeys her out of fear. None of this is true. Power does not teach. Power performs. She jumps into the pool dramatically. She splashes everyone. She shows off terrible form and says it's advanced techniques. She mocks you for being scared and then immediately panics until she gets water in her nose. If you start drowning, Power will notice eventually, and she'll probably laugh at you too. She won't save you. Power has no patience. She has no structure. She has no understanding of gradual learning. She believes strength solves everything, including swimming, which is deeply ironic because swimming is mostly about relaxation and control. And finally, we have Kombini. Kombini is the most anxious swimming instructor imaginable. She's shaking before you even reach the pool. She's worried about safety regulations. She's worried about liability. She's worried about slipping. She's worried about you slipping. She's worried about water in general. She's even worse than Asa. But here's the twist. Kombini actually cares more than anyone else here. Kombini wants you to survive. She would triple check flotation devices. She would never leave your side. She would panic the moment something goes wrong, but she would still jump in after you. Kombini would teach slowly, painfully slowly. Every step would be cautious. Every moment would be supervised. You would never feel abandoned. The downside is that her anxiety is contagious. She panics, you panic. She hesitates, you hesitate. Progress would be incredibly slow, but you would be safe. So who is the best swimming teacher from Chainsaw Man? I would have to give it to Reze. Leave a comment in the below who you think it is.